So as a real estate agent, a lot of people call me who are relocating to the area and they're asking me, Josh, which is a good city for me? And some people want to move to San Luis Obispo. Right now we're in San Luis Obispo. Some people want to move to Pismo Beach. Maybe Paso Robles is what caught their eye. So I want to give a little compare and contrast, especially from my perspective. I'm a local here to San Luis Obispo County. Lived in Templeton, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, Pismo Beach, Grover Beach, Arroyo Grande, so I've got some good perspective. So let's talk a little bit about San Luis Obispo and why you might want to live in San Luis Obispo, where we are right now. So San Luis Obispo, weather is going to be probably the best out of the whole county. Location, probably the best. You've got quick access to Paso Robles, quick access to the north coast, Morro Bay, Cayucas. If you want to go to the Pismo Beach or to Shell Beach, you're right there. It's only 10 minutes away. Location, weather, climate, restaurants, those kind of experiences are going to be great for San Luis Obispo. A little bit more expensive though, so that's why some people choose not to live in San Luis Obispo. Also, something that I like to point out, the architectural styles for San Luis Obispo are one of the most varied. So you get a lot of options to choose from if you're a home buyer and you have specific architectural styles and tastes, right? And you want a little bit more variety. There's also some newer construction homes options to choose from. Let's talk a little bit about North County, do a little comparison there. So if you're wanting to have a little bit more space, maybe have an acre or half acre, maybe 2 acres, Atascadero is going to be great for you. Also in West Atascadero, closer to the ocean, got a lot more options in the mountains, so you get some great views of the mountains, of the canyons there, of the oak trees. It's going to be a little bit warmer when you compare to San Luis Obispo, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. So if you're not as open to the heat, Atascadero might not be the best for you. You might choose San Luis Obispo. Let's talk a little bit about Paso Robles. So the downtown for Paso Robles, I think, is absolutely outstanding. So many great restaurants there. We've got 2 Michelin star restaurants to choose from in Paso Robles. You've got the fair, you've got some great developments. Overall, it's going to be much more affordable, relatively speaking, to the county. So that might be a reason why you choose Paso Robles. But something to keep in mind, Paso Robles is going to be quite warm in the summer. And by quite warm, I mean in the 90s, even getting up to the 100s. So if you're from an area where you're already used to the heat, you're fine with the heat, that's no problem. However, if climate's important for you, staying cool, Atascadero, Paso Robles might not be the best for you, especially during the summer months. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about a couple other locations that people oftentimes ask me about, and that is Pismo Beach and Arroyo Grande area. So these are great areas in the county, especially if you want to be closer to the ocean. A couple downsides and some reasons why you wouldn't want to move there or live there. So Pismo Beach, you've got some great neighborhoods there, some great styles of homes. Price point's going to be higher though. You're also not going to get as much land, so if you're looking for half acre or an acre when it comes to a parcel size, you're just not going to have as many options in Pismo Beach as you would in North County. Now Arroyo Grande is going to give you a little bit more variety when it comes to larger lots, larger houses. It's also going to be a little bit quieter. You're not going to have during the summer months, all of the tourists coming in, so less congestion. Great areas. Overall, the climate is really nice. Convenient location. If you want to go down to Santa Barbara or Ventura, you're only about an hour and a half away. But if you want to go to Paso Robles, you want to go to the fair, that's a good hour drive. So if you have family or people that you want to visit in North County, it might be a little bit further south. So oftentimes people ask me, San Luis Obispo, Atascadero, Paso Robles, Pismo Beach, Arroyo Grande, where should I live? And each area is really distinct here in the county, and that's one of the reasons why I like this area and why I've stuck around my whole life. Like I said, I'm a local, grew up here, raised here, lived in multiple cities here. Every city, every area is really unique, has its own culture, its own community style, and different options for lifestyle overall. So, some feedback for you. I loved living in North County. Like I said, I grew up in Templeton, great area if you want to live a little bit more rural and you're on a budget. San Luis Obispo, if you want that climate, you want the ideal weather, quick access, convenient access to shopping and things like that, or the beach. And then if you're going to Pismo Beach, you have a little higher budget, Arroyo Grande, great spots for you, just a little bit different. And if you're wanting kind of a quieter pace, the North Coast, Morro Bay, Cayucas, Cambria are great options for you. A little bit more isolated, so that's just something to think about. But let me know, what are your thoughts? You know, are you thinking about moving to the area? Are you thinking about moving to San Luis Obispo? Maybe you're relocating from a different state. Maybe you're looking to relocate from out of the area. Let me know your thoughts. So leave them in the comments below. And if you have any thoughts or ideas or questions about the area, feel free to send me a message. Happy to answer them. I think you can't go wrong when it comes to certain cities here in San Luis Obispo County. They all have their unique charm and personality. Really comes down to you, what you want your lifestyle to choose to be like. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.